This tutorial is definitely long overdue, but it's basically going to be all in Photoshop. I had some serious issues with my computer, so I've been stuck basically just in Photoshop, which is good and bad, but I've come up with a lot of new ideas, and so I guess I'm going to share some of them. First off, the last tutorial I showed you guys was how to do a reaction diffusion pattern in Photoshop, and yeah, that works great, but I found actually a better way to do that. So right off the bat, we'll just go into that real quick because it's pretty cool. So you're just going to go into Google, type in reaction diffusion online, and this simulation here will pop right up. And the cool thing about this is you have all these settings. Well, not all, there's just two, but when you manipulate them in different ways, you get some really cool results. So the patterns I was doing in Photoshop were just black and white. So, and I mean, in general, I mean, you can use any color you want, but black and white works really well. So we're going to change these values just to straight black. Actually, we'll keep this one white. And we're going to pull these back somewhere around here. And so now you can just adjust this to kind of get where you want it. So, I mean, that looked pretty dope already, right? Yeah, this thing's super cool. So yeah, just mess around with that. And something that's pretty awesome about this is just make sure that you get your thing playing all the way through here, because it takes a little while for the whole simulation to be done. And the reason it's important to do that is because these patterns are seamless. I will show you in a second. Let me just do one out completely. So yeah, you probably can't tell right now, but if you look closely, it's still going. Like, look right here. I mean, this part's gonna probably disconnect at some point. I think you can turn up the feed rate and it happens quicker, maybe. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, those parts are disconnecting. Let's see if this one goes. Yep, that one's going. So just make sure that that's occurring around the corners, around the edges, because when you click this button here, it says take snapshot. It will take a picture for you, and then you'd really want to just let that play out so you don't have all these grayish areas. But if you throw this into Photoshop, it's completely seamless. So last time I showed you how to just use a content aware fill to get the pattern to match up with itself, but these are seamless, so you don't even have to do that. So that's super cool, super effective, quick way of getting these awesome patterns. So, yep, cool shit. So the other thing I was going to show you is how I made, I don't even know if I can find it because I just cleaned out my whole computer. All right. So yeah, something like this. I mean, that's just an example. There was other ones I did as well, but they're pretty simple to make. They do take some time, but whatever. So I got some really cool textures off a website called, I think it's You Work for Them. So I'll show you that website real quick and show you what textures I got. Let's see. So this website's super dope. You have to buy the stuff, but it's totally worth it. I think it's like an abstract paint texture, and this guy just puts out all these real cool. Yeah, you can see him right here. So I purchased these. Some really cool ones in there. those are some examples, but those are what I used for the kind of texture thing I made. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff on this website. Worth exploring, going through, checking out. Um, so, all right. So once you pull your image in, make sure that you're getting it to a pretty small size. And the reason that's important is when you go to use this smudge tool, which is how I created that effect, the larger the image, the longer it's going to take for your computer to calculate the smudge effect. So if you keep it small, you can get away with doing this quickly. So I'll just show you real quick. So there's the small version, and if I scale this up, let's not freeze my computer because that would suck. But you can see it's taking a lot longer. I got the spinny wheel thing here going, the loading wheel of death. So keep your image small when you do this. So when you're smudging this, if you want your stroke to go completely vertical with no bends, curves, whatever, because if you just go straight up like this, it can get a little messy. So you just got to hold shift on your keyboard, and when you drag up, it's just going to go in a completely straight line. So I got a couple brushes offline. I forget what these ones are, but I just found that this one works really well. It's I don't know if you're gonna be able to find them, but it's some type of halftone brush. And I set the blur effect to around 89%, which I found worked really well. I mean, I don't know if there's a difference between 90 and 89, but or 88 and 89, but I don't know. I liked 89 and it worked, so I'm sticking with that. Um, so to get so yeah, just keep dragging this out at different spots until you get where you like it. So I'm just going to do this really quick because I've already done a ton of these and you get bored of doing them after a while. But I'm just going to show you how to do it quickly so you can come up with your own idea or something similar. I don't know. Okay. So in a lot of the ones I made, I also went into filter up here, stylize, and then I clicked on wind. And this makes does some pretty cool stuff if your image, if you got the right setup. Sometimes it doesn't work well. It works for some reason. It works really well when you blur textures. Let's see. Let's take this one, and then just throw like a simple Gaussian blur on there. And then go into wind. Let it do its thing here. So yeah, that's pretty cool, right? So yeah, I think this one's kind of too high definition, maybe. I don't know why it's not catching the edges correctly, but I guess it looks cool like this. So the next step is to get this to look three-dimensional instead of just, a 2D drag out, blur thing, whatever you want to call it. So I'll show you quickly how to make a three-dimensional shape or rectangle thing. So you just start by dragging out a rectangle, fill that one with white. This is just going to be an example, and then we'll do it with the texture I just made. We're going to duplicate this one, and we're going to change the color for it to be just a little bit darker. You just fake the effect of one side being hit by light or something. And then you're going to go into transform, distort. You pull this down here, pull this up, pull this over. Yeah, and you got 3D cube. Pretty boring, but that's how you do it. So we'll go back into this and we'll duplicate that. And I'm going to flip this vertical so that it's a mirror of its, no, sorry, horizontal. So it's a mirror image of itself. And then we will do the same exact thing we did with the last thing. Go up, pull it over. That's going to go down a little bit. And it's important that you darken one side because that's how you get that effect that it's three-dimensional. So this is a pretty shitty one, but you get the idea. I mean, if you spend 4 hours messing with this, you're going to come up with something really cool. And you can also do that with the reaction diffusion pattern. So say you, let's see. So crazy, man. Looks like a honeycomb or something. Nuts. So yeah, let's just get a quick snapshot of that. And because it's seamless, we can just go like this. It'll match up perfectly. Sweet. So let's shrink it down, make a cool looking cube here. Rectangle, it's not a cube. So go ahead and duplicate this again. And we're going to make this side a little bit darker. Transform, distort, pull that down, pull that up, pull that over. There you go. That's how you make those things. Yeah. So because I can't really do much with my computer right now because it's so effed, it's forced me to come up with ideas in Photoshop to keep. So you guys can do this too. It's pretty simple. Look, yo, just dragging stuff around and making cool shit. Yeah. So yeah, experiment. Come up with some cool stuff. Show me what you guys come up with. I want to see. Just don't try not to do exactly what I do. Just make something cooler than me. Use the stuff I showed you. Use this website. It's awesome. You can find some cool stuff. What else they got on here? Glitched. 50 destroyed paint textures. Sweet. So, oh, look at these. Yeah, these are cool. Short link, what's that? Yeah, you could definitely make some cool stuff with those. More glitch. Love glitch stuff. You can do some cool stuff. So you can use that effect to do some cool stuff with like people too. People's faces or whatever. Let's find a picture. Just take this statue here. Love statues recently. But take this. So when I do it with like objects or people or whatever, I set the strength of the thing to 100 of the smudge. And I usually use, instead of using that halftone brush, I go ahead and just use a straight square. Boost the size of it. Yeah, keep your brush size small too, because you can really lag your whole computer with that as well. But I think that should be alright for now. And you can just hold shift and drag their face up and make a weird ass glitch effect. Yo, what up? Messed up statue. So much stuff you guys can do. Mess around with. This thing's definitely a game changer. At least for me. I'm going to be using this thing all the time, yo. Reaction diffusion patterns like that. Super quick. Check that out. Instead of, simulating that whole thing in Photoshop like I showed you last time, that tutorial has become obsolete. It's pointless. Use this. Way better. Anything else I can show you guys? For now, probably not. Oh, people ask how to cut out faces. So, might as well show you that real quick. So get good at using the pen tool, because that's how I do it with these edits. And the important thing about this is that you just follow prominent structures on the face. Is prominent even the right word to use in that situation? Let's ask Google. Prominent, important, famous. Okay. I guess it works. Projecting from something. Protuberant. Alright, well, I don't know. Can we get a thesaurus? Get a different word? I don't know. So yeah, just follow. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Somebody knows it. You gotta just follow the way the face goes. If I could put it into words, I could tell you, but sometimes I'm not too good at that. So let's do it quickly. And even if you screw up, I mean, just get it as close as you possibly can, and at the end, I'll show you how to really dial it in. So you want it to move, or at least look like it's following the face. And if I was doing this for something, I would spend a lot more time on it. I just want to show you briefly. So let's fill that and just see how it looks for now. So yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% happy with that, because there's a lot that could be better about it. But you can go into here and go to transform, warp, and then you can really kind of get it to fit the face a lot better just by moving different parts of it around. So yeah, you'd want to bring that up a little bit over. So that already looks better. The top here needs some work. So you're going to want to have 2 layers of the same exact cut here, or fill. And you're going to set the bottom layer to be a brighter color, something that matches the skin tone, slightly brighter than the skin tone. So you can, a good way of, so just grab the original photo and grab part of the face, and you can click this color right here. And a good way of getting this color is just by this number down here, so 834C32. You can copy that, and then when you go into apply your effects here, you can click your color overlay, and just paste that right down there, and it will give you the color that you selected. So yeah, pretty useful. So set the bottom layer to that color. Slightly brighter though, something close. And then this top layer, you're going to just scale it down a little bit. Actually, I'm going to make this like almost white. And instead of using scale, use the warp tool again. To make it look like the face is actually cut, you know. And the other, the color down there doesn't look right, but you can get the idea of where I'm going with this. There we go. I mean, it's all right. Spend more time on it. It'll look a lot better. And then, yeah, that's how I do it when I make things coming out of people's faces. All right. Anything else? Nope. Later.